Hey guys, Pete Mercer here, and I wanted to do a video on MyFitnessPal and how it can help you. So I'm going to do this in two ways, for just general use and then how you can apply it to a bodybuilding lifestyle and more for the macronutrient benefits. So I'm going to turn to it here on my computer and hopefully it'll look okay. Right, so this is what comes up. Basically, you make an account and I'm going to show you what to do. So we go to the top there, we click on settings. There is an iPhone and probably an Android app as well, which is a lot handier, but for the sake of I'm recording this on my phone, so I can't use it to show you things. So basically, the only three things that I'm counting are carbohydrates, fat and protein. You can do more nutrients or cholesterol and go into other things like that, but you don't really need that. Then you've got how many meals and the names of them. I've just got 1 through 6, and there's that. So then we want to go into goals, and that's where the interesting things are. So once you go into that, you change your goals, and we'll go with custom. Now actually, first we'll do guided. Basically, this is for generally if you're trying to lose weight or trying keep a track of your food, because a lot of people say like, oh, I want to lose weight but I don't know how, or I know I eat too much bad food, so if I just cut out the bad food it'll help. Yep, but there's a better way of doing it. At least this is what I find. So we go into this. So you put in your current weight, and then let's say you want to lose I don't know, whatever, 2 kilograms. You can also do this in pounds for people in America, no problem. So 1.70 meters, and then you put in your details. I've gone for an active life because I do cardio a couple of times a day and the exercise, but I'm not actually putting exercise. This is purely for dietary reasons. So let's go to update profile. And this will mess with everything that I've done. But anyway, so this will give you its predicted or recommended calorie consumption. So that's 2,400 a day, and then there's the amounts of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So you've got your numbers there, and then you can put in your fitness as well, and then how that will work. But I'm not going to use it. But basically, that's what it does. And then what you do is you put in get started, and so what we want to do is now we want to start putting in food to monitor how we're doing. So let's go to food, and I'm going to change the day just for the sake of easy. So it'll be whatever your day is. So go to the first meal you've got. Let's go to add food, and then what you can do is on the application for phones you can use there's a barcode scanner, and you can scan in food that you're having, or you can just look stuff up. It does there are commercial things like things from Tesco or Asda, little things like that there. None of them, a lot of the main stores are fine, or you can just look up the foods. So these are just some of the ones that I've gone over. So we'll just do a basic breakfast. So here's first one is whole grain oats, and I've got the servings come up. So usually it's in grams, 100 grams, 50 grams. Sometimes it's in scoops and things. Find out what's the easiest for you to track. Put that in. So we've got, there we go. So there's 50 grams of oats, and then I've put in the quantity is 3. So right, so we've chosen the food we're going to do, and then what we do is I've checked it there. So we hit add checked, and there, meal 1. The oats are in, and that is 1,000 calories, and the carbs, fats, protein. So that's that. So once you've done that, you scroll down to the bottom, and it gives you your totals. So it all falls in line from that there. So you go down. So 1,000 calories, 176 carbs, 21 fat, 41 protein, and then it tells you your daily goals and how much you can have of each. And then basically, the bottom one is green numbers, and that tells you how many you've got left. If it turns red, that tells you how many you've gone over by. So if you want to lose weight, and you can do this, if you have 3 meals a day, and you just want to lose a bit of weight or whatever, this is a good way to monitor just how much that you're taking in with the food you have day in, day out, and you can just scale it back a bit, and that'll help you as well. So that that's a good way to work it from that. So I'm going to try and go back, and now let's do this as if we were going for counting macros, because what I did was whenever I was coming home a couple of weeks ago, Sunday or whenever it was, yeah, this has gone wrong, so I spent 2 hours in on the ferry doing calculations for the foods that I knew that I ate to work out just how much I needed. So then I started using MyFitnessPal and it became a lot easier. So what we do this time is I will show you my approach. So hang on, we've got, this is just how complicated it was. So this is, that's a list of the foods that I eat, and then their nutritional values, things like that there. Very complicated maths. But basically what you want to do, work out your maintenance calories. There are calculators online, and I'll link a few, but there's a great link on bodybuilding.com. I can't remember who did it. I think there's a girl called Lee and someone else, and it's a good way of finding out things like that there. So these are my personal ones anyway. So you work out what your maintenance calories are. My maintenance calories are 2,769. So that's how I worked it out. So what you want to do is when you go to goals and change goals, do custom, and then so we want to go 2,769, and you want to do the percentages, which is higher. You can go for if you want to do 40, 40, 20, you can do that. The best way is what I've done is gone for 1 gram of protein per lean body mass in pounds, 0.5 fats in kilograms for, I think it's 0.5 fats in grams per kilogram, and then the rest in carbohydrates. I'll link to the site that shows you how to do it, but that's how you work out a good base stat for your maintenance macronutrient ratios for carbohydrate, protein, and fat. So this works out close to mine. What mine actually is 306 grams of carbohydrates. I think it's 172 grams protein, and it's 92 grams of fat. So this is about as close as you get. You don't need to actually fill this in correctly. The rest you can leave blank and just leave it as is. If you want to put in your workouts and exercise, whatever, that's fine. Go ahead. But this is just purely for nutrition, and I'm doing it. So let's go to change goals, and then let's go back to food. So we've done that, and this is what I've actually had today. So this is what I've put in. So I've got oats, raspberries, protein powder, and blueberries, and then there's the values there. And then if we go down to the bottom, at the end of my day I have consumed 2,854 calories, which is a surplus of 85. I know it's not terribly clear in the screen, but as I said before, I am currently bulking, and I'm doing it as slowly as possible. So I'm tiny increases. So I'm over my carbs by 20 grams, and I've got 1 gram of fat left and 3 grams of protein left. Now you can, if you do the calculations and you work out exactly the information, nutritional values of all the foods that you eat, you can do you do complicated calculations to like decimal points of grams of food that you need. But like I said, that takes hours, and literally what you do, what I did was I threw in what I normally have, in grams, and then it calculates everything for you, including the nutritional information, and it tells you exactly what you've got there. So it makes it a lot simpler. And I'm only 3 carbs off in protein and 1 in fat. That's pretty close. That's not enough to to throw you off course by any means. And this is a great way of tracking things. So if you want to do if you just want to maintain your weight, do this and put in the calories that you want, and try and get your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats as close as possible. But make sure you know the numbers that you want to hit. And then what you can do is, I don't know if this works on the laptop or like the internet one. What I'm saying, internet, the computerized version, but it's easy. Yeah, you can find out how many. Well, yeah, it says there how many carbs, fats, and proteins at the bottom. It shows you, a different table on the app for phones. But there you go. So that's carbs, protein, and fat, and then and that's as it's as close, I reckon, as anyone's going to get. And it's got all the nutritional information for you anyway. So if you want to change something, for example, which is this is one the thing that I found is really cool. If we go back to Saturday here, what you'll notice is the first thing we'll say is, let's see, right, so the calories, I was within 5 calories. Now my carbs were over by a lot, so that was over by 171. Fat, I still had 4 left, and my protein was over by 32, but I stayed within the calories. And as we know, losing weight or gaining weight or maintaining weight is about calories in versus calories out. So if you follow the usual things here, you would notice that I cut down my carb and protein intake for most of the day. But if you look, so there's no meal 6, but if you look at meal 5, you see Chinese takeaway and gravy. So what I managed to do, some people say, if you're going to have, you can have a cheat day or a cheat meal. That's the way they like to do it, and that works for them. But I was watching a couple of Matt Ogus' videos, and he was seems to be a fairly big proponent of if it fits your macros. I know some people hate it, and so you can't enjoy food that you want and unhealthy things if you're going to try and fit it into your macros. But there you go. There's an entire carton of chicken fried rice, and this is my calories for the day. I didn't have to take anything out from calories on either side. I didn't have to take anything away on Friday or Sunday to fit in this Chinese. But it was a case of I didn't say, right, how much is the Chinese, right? How can I fit everything else around it? I put in what I normally have in a day, then add the Chinese, and then what I just did is I just used MyFitnessPal and reduced the things that I was having anyway, until I got as close as I could to my macro numbers, and still within my calories for the day, and that was a really exciting moment for me, because there's even one I think I did this on it was Friday or Thursday, and I was in work in the hospital, and I was just craving a wee biscuit, so it was. I don't know where it was, but what I did was I literally said, right, okay, so I want a couple of biscuits. So I just went into MyFitnessPal on my phone, and saw how many calories were in calories, and then carbs and whatever were in rich tea biscuit or whatever. And I just took it away from something else. Maybe it was peanut butter, or maybe it was I don't know, protein powder, something like that. But I reduced one of the numbers in the day, and I managed to make it work. So it's a really good thing. If you're just looking to lose weight, or just try to watch what you're eating a bit better. Yeah, this is a really good way of doing it, because it means that you don't have to say, oh, I don't know what the best approach is, or maybe if I just cut out chocolate or crisps or sweets, something like that there. Yeah, that's a great idea. And obviously you want to eat as healthy as possible, generally speaking, but it's maybe not the best approach if you don't know what you're doing, you won't know what weight you're losing or why you're losing it, or how quickly or by how much. So this is a great way of tracking it in a very simple way. But then if you want to go further and you want to really keep an eye on your macros, because if you're really focused and determined to do things properly and monitor your weight, you might change these every week. And if you imagine going to the looking at all the labels on all your foods, writing down, so this is right, so protein, carbs, fats per 100 grams, and then dividing it to find out exactly how many nutrients that you need for each meal. That takes a lot of time, a lot of effort that you don't need. And as soon as you start using MyFitnessPal, it takes hours of calculations down to minutes, and it makes it so much easier. And then if you have those days when you think, oh, I really need, you want a cheat food or something guilty, you can fit it in. If you really want to, so you might say, well, I'm only going over by whatever, or it's just a little bit. That's fine too. But put it in and see where you are, and see if you can make up for it, if that's what you want to do. But then, you can just take a little bit from each meal, and then you can make something else fit, like a takeaway if you really want to do it. So I thought that was really cool. So MyFitnessPal, highly recommend it. It's the easiest thing to use. Just fill in all the details that you want. If you just want to follow what they do, go to guided, their method, put in height, weight, and then things like that there. They'll generate the calories that you need to take in, and how much protein, carbs and fats, and you just put in whatever you want, and whatever you eat, and that's how you're going to work out from there. That'll help you. If you know what your maintenance calories are, put your maintenance calories in, and then try and get through the custom mode, and then try and get your protein, carbs, fats as close as possible, so you can just gauge them as you go through the day to make sure that you're on track or that there. But if you know specifically what you need, keep that as well, and make sure that you hit that every day. But you know, if you need to change anything, you know, let's say 1 week to 2 weeks, you lose, you know, a couple of pounds, or you lose a kilogram, or whatever it is, and you need to change things, put in your new maintenance calories, start again, go from there. And it takes minutes to figure out exactly what you're doing. So, you know, go for it. Use this if you're having trouble counting your macros, or you know it's taking you ages to figure out, you know, everything that you need. Use this, and it'll be, you know, it makes life a lot easier. So I will put you know, I'll put a couple of online simple calculators for calories, and then I'll put the calculation that I use. The most important thing to remember is everyone is different. The one I use is just a really good gauge to get basic maintenance calories and your protein, carbs and fat intake. What you need to then do is weigh yourself on a daily or weekly basis, see what difference that you know, those ratios make, and then adjust to your needs. Some people need more carbohydrates, some people need less. You know, some people might find that fats don't affect them as much as other people. It's entirely up to you. If you want to, you know, if you want it, look at it, work it out, and see what works for you. You know, so I find it works for me for maintenance, and you know, I spent the week and I was monitoring my weight, and you know, stayed exactly the same. So what I'm doing is I'm now doing a slight carb increase to try and you know increase my weight, you know, as gradually as possible. So you know, that's the kind of thing you want to do. So yeah, go for it, try it out. Let me know what you think, because it is so simple and it works so well. So highly recommend it. Anyway, I'm Pete Mercer. Take it easy.